Hi everybody, Heather here from Grow Family Yoga and More, located in Jacksonville, Florida, but also providing virtual classes for families, kids, and adults who want calm and connection. Today we're going to be talking about using a scarf, specifically from the Dollar Tree or the dollar store, to help you get into poses, whether you're an adult or a kid. But specifically today we're going to talk about one of our balance poses that can be really challenging for kids, and how to meet them in their zone of proximal development. So if you're an educator, you know what I'm talking about. However, it applies to yoga as well. A lot of times kids might feel discouraged doing certain poses if they feel like they can't or if they have extreme difficulty. And the whole point of yoga is to help them learn to manage their stress, to relax, and of course for physical health, achieving more balance, strengthening their core, and their gross motor development skills. So this scarf, I'm going to move a little closer to the camera so you can see it. Hi everybody. This scarf is super flowy. The Dollar Tree usually has them in the spring, and then they usually have some around Halloween.
Like holidays.
Like the holiday ones, yeah. And then they'll have some around Christmas. And I know it's the Dollar Tree, but when you're working with kids, you want to be able to have things pretty affordably so that you can replace them, more often. However, I will say these are amazing because they are just $1. You would think that they rip up really easily, but I've had some of these for a few years, and of course I wash them. I've had them for a few years, and they really are my favorite. And I actually replaced straps in my adult classes, replaced them with these scarves because they have more give, and because they're softer, so especially people with sensory needs. I think they just work a little better. I really prefer them. Some people still prefer straps, and so I do provide them, but I really just love the scarves, and especially for kids and families because they're multi-purpose. As you can see right now, Emily is playing with them, and kids really like that. Our kids yoga and family yoga are a little more play-based, obviously, and so they allow for a little more imagination and a full immersive experience in kids yoga when it's not just used as a prop for balance poses, but used as a prop for play and imagination and their guided meditation at the end, their shavasana. But today we are going to talk about a specific pose that you can do that will help increase your child's balance and coordination using this scarf. So first I want us all to stand in mountain pose, toes faced directly in front of you, and just rock on your toes and then rock onto your heels until you find that yourself is fully planted into the ground. Now, try to raise one leg up. Even as an adult, that's quite challenging, especially if you've never done this or if you don't practice it a lot, right? Well, kids don't typically stand on one leg a whole lot, and so this can be really challenging for them. And so then when we ask them to grab their toes and come all the way up, even I have difficulty with it. And I feel a little insecure and like I'm going to fall over. And especially children who maybe don't have the best balance or coordination, this pose may be inaccessible to them. Maybe if their legs are really long, this pose is inaccessible to them. And it's the same thing with adults. And in children's yoga, I really like challenging them, but challenging them in their zone of proximal development, or in a way that is just to their edge without frustrating them and causing any meltdowns, but that's also providing and encouraging a growth mindset. So how can we do that? Well, one way, same thing with adults, for kids, is using props and using fun things that can be used throughout the rest of the class. So we're going to use our scarf. So coming back into this mountain position, place one foot into the scarf. And if you have a strap at home, it would be fun to kind of compare the difference between the strap and the scarf and notice maybe why our preference is for the scarf. All right, so you're going to balance on one foot. Take the scarf, both sides of it, into one hand, the same hand that you're using as that leg. For us, it's our right, but it'll look like the left to you. And you're going to go ahead and raise up the foot. Now you'll notice this allows a person to get into the pose without feeling like they're going to fall over, but still providing that challenge where they have to really brace their core, engage their legs, and build those muscles needed for this balance pose and for this coordination. But it's not as frustrating. Would you agree, Emily? Yeah. So especially for our little friends, like our 3 and 4-year-olds, who oftentimes cannot reach their toes because their arms are still short, and that's so cute, by the way, And they want to do this because they see their older siblings or they see their parents doing it. It's a great way to meet them in the middle. So we're going to do it on the other side just because anytime you do a pose on one side, especially balance poses, you want to do it on the other side. So starting in our mountain pose, take a deep breath in. And go ahead and place that scarf underneath the foot. And taking both edges of the scarf, be next to a wall. And whenever you're ready, brace that foot that's standing into the ground. You might even want to engage the legs and the glutes. Now for kids, I don't say all that. I just say make it where you feel like you want to be like a statue, and they will generally tighten the muscles that they need to tighten. And then raise the other leg, and then you can even raise the arm. And then they can steadily begin practicing raising it more and more and creating more flexibility in those hamstrings and hip flexors, so that by the time they are old enough to possibly reach their knee, ankle, or toes, they have the mobility needed in the hip flexors, and they've done it in such a way and associated this pose in such a way that's positive because they were given tools to help them access the pose. Now I'm talking about children, but this is true for any yoga that you want to make accessible to all bodies. And I will have a video on that later, but I wanted to present accessible yoga for children and how we can use household objects and very affordable objects to make yoga more fun for them. So thank you for watching the video. If you liked this video and you want to know more about yoga for families, for children, for pregnancy, or for you just trying to get through your life with less stress, please subscribe to our channel, and we appreciate your support. All right, bye everybody. Have a great day.